It's Friday with DJ. How you doing, DJ?
Oh, I'm so glad we're through with all that wind. Wasn't it something on
Oh
Tuesday?
man, that's the
Yeah,
panhandle, you
yeah,
know?
it sure was. Yeah, all the different kinds of weather we've had, such a variety to sell the area.
Well,
But
they say in Oklahoma, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. Boy, the panhandle is even more severe than that.
my ex-husband said that the reason we don't have more tornadoes in Amarillo is because the wind keeps blowing them away.
Well, DJ, tell us about today's distinguished guest.
You know, this is such a pleasure for me, Corporal Scott Welling. And I have to say it slowly because if you say his name quickly, you say Scott Welling, it sounds like God willing.
Hey, Scott Willing, we'll make it today.
Um, and you know how I am about the people we have on these shows, that I absolutely adore them. And we have honored both of these officers as our first responders of the month. And it was so cool because we got to surprise both of these guys. And it was so much fun. We got to do Scott first. And I didn't realize it's just a cool thing because I've known Sean Slover for a long time. He used to be with the Amarillo Police Department. And we were really good friends because of his work with the police department. But I started realizing I met him when he was a toddler, and now he and I are the same age, and it's just the coolest thing. And so when we honor Scott, his mom comes in, and I said, "Well, hi, what are you doing here?" And Paula said, "DJ, don't you remember? Scott's my son. You met him when he was a toddler,
Wow.
and we're the same age."
Hey, go figure.
I know. I don't know how that all works out. And we're not the same size, but we're the same age. Anyway, both of these wonderful hearts of service are with Crime Stoppers and Student Crime Stoppers. And why don't you guys tell just a little bit for those who don't know how Crime Stoppers got started, and then how Student Crime Stoppers got started? Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, originally it all started back in 1976. It was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Detective Greg McAleese. I was working on a homicide case there, and he's the one that came up with the whole idea of Crime Stoppers. He went to his administration there saying, "I want to set up this phone line, and I want people to call in and give me information on this case." But it says, "I want them to remain anonymous." And it says, if that information is good and leads to an arrest, then we want to give them a reward for that information. And that was a birth just 4 hours down the road in Albuquerque. And finally, in '79, we started Amarillo Crime Stoppers here. So I said, it's been going, and now we're certified through the governor's office in Texas, and there's over 150 programs in the state.
That's
And
amazing.
also, Scott, do you want to tell us about your honor that you had this last year?
Yeah, our last, now 2 conferences ago, we just got back in October, but the conference, I was coordinator of the year for Texas Crime Stoppers, but also back even 2 years before I got it, Jared here was coordinator of the year for the campus Crime Stoppers coordinator.
Both
And
of
I'm going
you.
to brag. I got to keep mine for 2 years because of COVID. So I'm the longest running one out there.
Yeah, we did that with our baby angel contest. We had one baby that was a rerunner also. So she graduated from high school and was married by the time we got her out of the program. I'm lying. Anyway.
So Student Crime Stoppers is kind of the same thing. We started back in 1991. When we started out with one school. We're up to 9 school districts, 4 counties. We cover a little over 53,000 kids right now. So it's grown. It's big. It's the same thing as adult Crime Stoppers. Everything you have on your streets, you have inside your schools. So we just closed this year out. I think we ended up with 1,200 tips this year just out of inside the schools. So we're going.
Now, is this the same Crime Stoppers that back in the 80s had the dog mascot and take a bite out of crime? Is this the same?
It is McGruff the crime dog. He cost a little too much to have anymore. So
Oh, really? Now I'm curious about that. Tell us about McGruff and what happened there.
So it's actually a licensing deal now, and like I said, it cost quite a bit to be able to to have McGruff the crime dog. I actually still have him. He's up on my desk. I've got about a 3-foot stuffed animal of him, but that's about as far as we go with him anymore.
Now, did you ever put a mascot McGruff costume on?
No.
No.
So we have Paw Patrol right now. We have Chase and Marshall, the fireman and the police officer.
Yeah, cool.
So that's about all we use anymore. But we have full costumes of those two, and they make appearances every now and then.
Wow. What a great campaign. But more than that, you just said that what exists on the street exists in the school. Back when I was in a rough high school in the early 80s, man, there was drugs, there was there was drug gang fights. Our principal, Betty White, not the Betty White, but her name was Betty White. She actually wore a gun. And they started having metal detectors, and that was a new thing. It's crazy. But what perhaps are some of the most surprising facts that a lot of people, especially parents, don't realize when it comes to crime and different happenings that are actually happening inside of our public schools today?
One of the biggest things we fight is the fact that it is anonymous. Everybody, especially the kids, trying to get the kids to buy into the anonymity of the program. That's what our biggest challenge is. It's just getting them to bite and to realize, hey, it's 100% anonymous. We're not going to tell anybody. The only person's going to find out is if you tell them. So now that we did a big push about a year ago on the anonymity of the program and showing kids that it really is anonymous. And so our tips have drastically increased since, like I said, you get the kids to bite on it and they understand and they start making those tips. They'll realize that it's a safe thing. And the kids see their school just like we see our communities and our neighborhoods that we live in. The school is their community and the school is their neighborhood. They want to keep it safe. It doesn't seem like they do, but they take stock in their schools, and they want to be able to go to a school that's safe and not have to worry about, outside influences disrupting their day.
Wow.
So, what can the community do? I know you have fundraisers because we get to help work with you on those. But what can the community do on a day-to-day basis to support your programs?
Well, like she said, with the fundraiser, a lot of people may not realize is that Crime Stoppers itself is a nonprofit. We don't get any tax dollars from the city or anything like that. We have a board of directors. They're the ones that make up all the decisions for the program, to what fundraising to do, to even how much to pay on rewards. Same thing with his board. It's made up of high school kids. So they're the ones making the decisions for the program. We're just kind of the ones doing the day-to-day work. But on the day-to-day stuff we put out, the biggest thing, we just share the information that we put out. I'm not saying that you have any information on that crime or, that campus crime that we put out, but you pass it on to, your 400 or 500 friends and just keeps on going down the line. And hopefully we get to someone that has information on that crime and will call us and give us that tip that leads to an arrest.
Wow.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us about your 2 fundraisers that you have? And we have one coming up in April.
Right. This April is going to be our 16th annual Shred It Day. That's just a way for a service that we give back. We partner with Document Shredding and Storage. They've been great to us for 16 years now. You can bring all those old tax returns, all those credit card applications you get in the mail, anything with that personal information on there that you don't just want to throw in the trash. You bring them to us. They're shred on site. It's a certified program that shreds them. The only thing we ask for is a donation. So due to the popularity of the contest, we actually have to, of the event, we had to move this year. We're going to be moving over to DSS office off of 45th. It's 2727 Southwest 45th, just between Georgia and I-27. But that way it's going to go in quicker because we had people backing out onto Georgia when we were having it at Market Street. So we're trying to kind of alleviate some of that congestion, and we're going to move it over there this year.
Fantastic. Is there an online donation portal that people
on both of our websites you can go to and you can donate it just through PayPal? Or like I said, at our events, we do events, the kids' ID cards throughout the year. Or if you're hosting an event and you'd like to have that there, just give us a call. We'll be happy to come out and do that for you.
The kids' ID thing is close to my heart. I do some media for an organization that fights child sex trafficking. People don't realize how important it is, folks, that you really protect your kids more now than ever. But as far as the kids ID program, could you touch on that just real quick?
Yeah, so the kids are always like excited. Oh, we get a little ID, but the main thing it's for the parents. Should something happen,
Right.
obviously, if you've been a parent and you can't find your kid, you're going to be frantic. You can't remember anything about them.
Right.
You'll hand that card to the officer, and it has all the pertinent information: height, weight, hair color, a picture of them. That way, we can get that information sent out to all the officers out in the streets looking for them. So it's
So do you have the original in the computer? If I can't find the card and my kid's lost or something, have y'all got it in your system?
No, we don't save them. The biggest thing is because kids grow so fast. We ask them to just keep on, and every year, find another event we're at and come out and get a new one. So,
wow,
but that way, because how fast kids change.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been your experience with DJ, guys?
Since it all started when I took over Crime Stoppers, but same thing with him. It's been great. He's always a blessing to be around, light of the room. So,
And if we ever need
to
help,
know
we
her is
we
to
can
love
call-
her.
If we ever need help, we know we can call DJ and she'll get our message out for us. So
Well, you know what? Great things come in little packages, and she is a powerhouse, and everyone who knows her loves her for good reason. We love DJ, and but very grateful for you, DJ, and yet another fantastic organization in Amarillo. And gentlemen, thank you so much for what you
absolutely,
appreciate it.
thank you.
These guys are awesome, very approachable. My dogs love Scott.
We see him on the drive to work sometimes.
Hey, well, maybe you can work out a deal. Maybe DJ's dog can be the new McGruff. No,
There you go.
no licensing things there
We
necessarily.
can slap a costume on it.
Well, you know what, DJ, you brought our nation's finest right here this morning. Thank you so much, DJ. Thank you, gentlemen.
This is fun, and I love all three of you. Thank you so much for being in my life.
You're welcome,
You're welcome,
partner.
Partner.
Yay! And Angel just got her wings.